Hello everyone, so welcome to my course on Laplace transforms. In my last session, what do we saw? We saw that how to solve a differential equation whose initial conditions are given to you, then how to solve that initial value problem using Laplace transforms. And in those initial value problems, we had those nice problems, as in the differential equation which you had on the left hand side, the coefficients were constants and the initial conditions which were given to you, those were given at 0. That means we saw how to solve this kind of initial value problem. Here a and b are constants and initial conditions were given at 0. Now the question is, suppose the initial conditions are not given at 0, suppose it is given at some non-zero point, that means suppose at 3 it is given, then how will you solve such kind of initial value problems? So I am going to take two problems, and for both the problems I am going to tell you a different method. It will be up to you which one to use. Okay, so let's first see an example of first order differential equation or first order initial value problem, and the second example I will take for the second order initial value problem. So let's see one by one. Okay, now consider this initial value problem. Now here initial condition is given at 2, it is not given at 0. So let's see how you can solve this using Laplace transform. Well, you can easily solve this using variable separable method, but I want to tell you how to solve this using Laplace transform method. So what is the first thing you do? You apply Laplace on both sides. So what do you get? You get, since Laplace is linear in nature, this L will go inside and this minus 6 will come outside. And now what is the formula for Laplace of first derivative? It is nothing but s into y of s minus y of 0. What is Laplace of y? We denote by capital Y of s. And what is Laplace of 1? It is 1 by s. Okay, now this quantity I don't know. In my last lecture, this quantity were known to you, but now here it is y of 2 is given to you and not y of 0. So what you do is you keep this as it is. So what do you have is, you take out y of s common, s minus 6 equals y of 0 plus 1 by s. For simplicity, let me call y of 0 as c. Instead of writing y of 0 again and again, let me write it down c over here. Now what is my y of s? If I take this s minus 6 on the right hand side, this is what I have. Now I want to find y of t. So if I take Laplace inverse on both sides, Laplace inverse of y of s is y of t. So what do we get? Y of t equal to Laplace inverse of this plus Laplace inverse of this quantity. Laplace inverse is also linear, therefore Laplace inverse can go inside. Now c is constant, you can take out c outside. What is Laplace inverse of 1 upon s minus 6? It is nothing but e raised to 6t, because Laplace of e raised to at is 1 upon s minus a. Plus, now whenever you have the product in the denominator, what do? You use the partial fraction technique. So you can rewrite this as, so if I write 1 upon s minus 1 by s minus 6, if I do the cross multiplication, my s will get cancelled, only minus 6 will remain in the numerator. So I will adjust it by minus 1 by 6. So if I solve this, I get again this as the answer. Okay, so this is what I have. Now solving this, we get Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1, Laplace inverse of 1 upon s minus 6 is e raised to 6t. So this is what the y of t we get. Now what is given to you? Y of 2 is 4. So if I put that value over here, this is what I have. So after solving this, we get 25 e raised to minus 12 upon 6 equal to c plus 1 by 6. If I take 1 by 6 over here, I get the value of c. And once I have the value of c over here, I plug in it over here. So finally my solution is, so this is what we get. So this is the solution for the given differential equation, provided my calculations are correct. So this is how you solve an initial value problem if the initial condition is not given at 0. So you keep your y of 0 as it is. You can call it as c if you wish and keep on solving, and at the end you find the value of c using the given value. So this is one way. But then when you have second order, third order or fourth order initial value problem, then the problem is there will be too many constants. Like here I had only y of 0 unknown, so I call it as c. Suppose if you have second order, you will have y of 0 and y dash of 0 and unknowns. If you have third order, you will have y of 0, y dash of 0, y double dash of 0 as unknowns. So you will call them as a, b, c respectively. Then here in the calculations you will have three constants, and then things might become very complicated or very complex as you go for higher order initial value problems. So question is, how can I tackle this problem? So another method to solve such kind of problem is translation method. You simply do the translations and you do the change of variable, so that instead of this y of 2, you will get some initial condition at 0. And once you have initial condition at 0, you can use the formula for Laplace of derivative and you get your answer. So let's see this by an example on what I am trying to say over here. Now consider this as your initial value problem. So again, initial condition is not given at 0. So here we will do translation. Now how do you do that? So since it is translated by 1 unit on the right hand side, so whenever there is a translation on the right hand side, what change of variable you do? You call eta as your new variable. You call eta as t minus 1 because I am shifting on the right hand side. So see, when my t is 1, my eta is 0. So that's how I am bringing 0 into the picture. Okay, so that's the one thing. So that means what is your t? Your t is eta plus 1. Now once I have this, now what is this? This is y double dash of t. So if I put this value over here, what do we get? So this is what my differential equation becomes if I replace my t by eta plus 1. Okay, now we don't have habit of looking in this way, right? We always look as y double dash of x or y double dash of t, right? But here you have something plus 1. So how I can avoid this? So you introduce a new variable. So let me call, so u of eta as y of eta plus 1. So I'm simply replacing eta by eta plus 1. Okay, so that's the translation. So this is the new variable now u, and u is depending on eta. So what is u dash of eta? It is nothing but du by d eta. But du by d eta, so differentiating u with respect to eta is same as differentiating y with respect to eta. Further, my y was depending on t. So if I apply chain rule over here, this is nothing but dy by dt into dt by d eta. Now what is dy by dt? It is y dash of t. And what is dt by d eta? If I differentiate this with respect to eta, I will get 1 as the answer. So I'm not writing that one. So my u dash of eta is nothing but y dash of t. That means nothing but, so my u dash of eta is nothing but y dash of eta plus 1. Similarly, if I again apply the chain rule, my u double dash of eta will become y double dash of eta plus 1. And therefore I can replace my y double dash of eta plus 1 by u double dash of eta, y dash of eta plus 1 as u dash of eta, and y of eta plus 1 as u of eta. Okay, so if I do these changes over here, this will change to, this is what I have. So now this is the differential equation I have. Now let's see what is u of 0 and u dash of 0. So what is u of 0? It is nothing but, my u of eta is nothing but y of eta plus 1. So this is y of 0 plus 1, which is nothing but y of 1. What is y of 1? 4. So my u of 0 is 4. What is my u dash of 0? It is nothing but y dash of, so u dash of eta we just saw, it is y dash of eta plus 1. So u dash of 0 is y dash of 0 plus 1. And what is y dash of 1? 5. So I have a differential equation in u, and my independent variable is eta. I have u of 0 and u dash of 0. So I have now initial conditions at 0. So with the help of this translation, I can rephrase my differential equation into this, where my u is dependent and eta is independent variable, and I have initial conditions at 0. Now you apply Laplace transform over here. So what do I have? I have s square into Laplace of u. So let me call Laplace of u as capital U. So if I apply Laplace transform over here, this will become s square u of s minus s into u of 0 minus u dash of 0 plus 3 into again the Laplace of derivative, Laplace of u. And what is Laplace of e raised to at? It is 6 upon s minus 2. So this is what I have. Now we put the value of u of 0 and u dash of 0 over here. So what do you get is, so you take out u of s common from here. So this is what I have. You put the value of u of 0 and u dash of 0 over here. You take them on the right hand side. This is what you get. Now it's easy, right? So what is my u of s now? You can factorize this as plus 4 into minus 1. Okay, so this will become s plus 4 into s minus 1. So this is what your u of s is. So now this is a simplified version. Now I will apply Laplace inverse over here. Now how do you find the Laplace inverse of these three quantities? As I told you in my previous lecture as well, whenever you see the product in the denominator, you go by partial fraction method. So by partial fraction method, what do we get is 4s upon s plus 4 into s minus 1. By partial fraction, you write as a upon s plus 4 plus b upon s minus 1. You do the cross multiplication, equate the coefficients, you get a to be 16 by 5 and b to be 4 by 5, provided my calculations are correct. So this is what is the simplification of the first term. Similarly, for second term, 7 upon s plus 4 into s minus 1, you can write as a upon s plus 4 plus b upon s minus 1. You do cross multiplication, find a and b. A will come out to be minus 7 by 5, b will come out to be plus 7 by 5. And similarly for the third term, which is nothing but 6 upon s minus 2, s plus 4, s minus 1 is equal to a upon first term, b upon second term, c upon third term. You do the cross multiplication, equate the coefficient, solve those equation. This is what you will get. Your a will come out to be 1, b will come out to be 1 by 5, c will come out to be minus 6 by 5. So now we have done the partial fraction for all the three terms. Now you substitute the values over here, and what do we get is, so after putting the values, this is what I have. Now it's easy, right? Now you simply take the Laplace inverse. So what is this? So Laplace inverse of 1 upon s plus 4 is e raised to minus 4 eta. Is eta, okay? Do not write t over here. We are in eta as an independent variable. This will become e raised to eta. This will become e raised to minus 4 eta. And similarly, the other terms. Now this is my u of eta. Now what is my u of eta? If you remember, it is nothing but y of t plus 1. So this, if I want to write this in terms of t, I will write over here y of t, and wherever you have eta, what was my eta? My eta, if you recall, it was nothing but t minus 1. So wherever you have eta, you replace your eta by t minus 1. So you have 16 by 5 e raised to minus 4 t minus 1 plus so on. You can combine the terms at the end, but that's what the idea is. Ultimately, you have to again resubstitute your eta by t minus 1. So this is what the particular solution is for the given initial value problem. So whenever you have an initial value problem where the initial condition is not given at 0, we do the translation. If something positive is given like 1, we replace eta by t minus 1. If something negative is given, suppose y of minus 3 is given, so what you do, you write eta as t plus 3. Once you do these transformations, you will have the differential equation in u and eta, and your initial conditions for u will come at 0. And once you have the initial conditions at 0, you can apply the Laplace transform for derivatives. You get the answer in u of eta, but then you want in y of t. So what is my eta? Eta is nothing but t minus 1. So at the end, you replace your eta by t minus 1. So the second method is more elegant method, but if you have first or second order, you can use my first method. But yeah, my preference will be second order onwards, always use this method. So I hope both the methods are clear to you. Let me give you one homework problem and make sure you post the answer in the comment section. So this is the question. Solve this and tell me what is the answer. And if you get stuck, then also you can ask me. Here also you will do the translation. Eta is equal to t minus 3. So do the translation and tell me what is the answer. So I hope you understood both the methods. If yes, then do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.